it is what it is today, that also that we are having state abductions left, right, center from people who are just using their voice, who are not even carrying arms. You have Showore, you have Agbajalingo, you have a mandate, you have people just being kidnapped by the state. And it's a clear indictment on the state, because when you have a government that is negotiating openly with terrorists, it's just so clear that they are just, they are friends, they are partners in this business. And kidnapping has become in fact, the biggest business right now in Nigeria. When people try to dismiss it in a way that the young people are not ready, the young people are this and that, I don't think that's the case. I only think what is left is kind of consciousness, the kind of mass education that people need, the correct education. But as we have it today, it is not that kind of education that's even given by the ruling class. They dictate everything that must be taught. They dictate the kind of consciousness that must happen in any society. But for us to have the kind of take it back kind of revolution and all of that, we have to educate ourselves massively. And the most important scheme of this particular thing is class consciousness, so that the masses would understand that there are just two tribes in Nigeria, the tribe of the oppressor and the tribe of the oppressed, and that hunger, poverty, insecurity does not understand language, does not understand your religion and all of that. And when the kidnappers come for you, they will not ask, are you a family member of Buhari or not? They just pick anybody up, and that is has been seen in what we have today, being the 2000th day of the Chibok girl kidnap. It is what it is today, that also that we are having state abductions left, right, center from people who are just using their voice, who are not even carrying arms. You have Showore, you have Agbajalingo, you have a mandate, you have people just being kidnapped by the state. And it's a clear indictment on the state, because when you have a government that is negotiating openly with terrorists, it's just so clear that they are just, they are friends, they are partners in this business. And kidnapping has become in fact, the biggest business right now in Nigeria. Picking up Showore is just appearing, he's posting himself as a vanguard, as a tribune for this whole thing. 90 million Nigerians who are living in extreme and multi-dimensional poverty will not back down, even if Showore backs down tomorrow. But Showore that I know is resolute, and that's the reason why they are holding him. If the judge had ordered that Showore should leave the country immediately as a bail condition, I'm very sure the DSS would have obeyed that order. That please, in fact, they would provide presidential jets to take him down to New York, would drive him down to his house in New York and say, thank you very much, please don't come back to Nigeria. If that was the bail condition, they would have done that. But because they understand so well that there's a particular consciousness that is coming back with his release, and in fact, even without his release, but his release would bring about more consciousness and all of that, and that's why they are holding him. But he's not a person who would back down. I'm very sure of that. All the ingredients, all the recipes, everything you need for a revolution are already on the table. You understand? The socio-economic conditions, the political conditions, they are just there. The only thing that is left is that class consciousness I have said. I said it somewhere also, that the reprisal attacks that happened during the xenophobia thing, and where Nigerians had to go to ShopRite, were looting and all of that, class consciousness would have redirected that anger from going to ShopRite to maybe Bodilon. ShopRite, Lekki is not far from Bodilon. And then they would know that their enemy is in Bodilon and not in ShopRite. So that is just the only thing that is left. Class consciousness is the only ingredient that is left for the revolution to happen in Nigeria. But it is very imminent. You cannot keep beating a child. You understand? When you beat a child, you then determine how the child will cry. You then close the child's mouth from crying. It's not possible. It can only happen for let me put it this way, for so long, but it cannot happen for too long. Let me put it that way. So it is very clear that the revolution would happen now, and it is not going to be televised, like Showore would say.